Hello, how's everyone doing today? I would like to talk about taxation and it being theft. One argument made often when libertarians say taxation is theft, a response is taxation isn't theft because we get goods and services in return. A thief says, give me your money, and then walks away with your money, where the government provides you with roads, schools, firemen, and all sorts of services. Therefore, taxation isn't theft because you get something uh, back with your money. Well, this is a very bad argument because theft is taking someone's property without their consent. The fact that someone gets a service back is irrelevant. Look, let me use an analogy and give an example. It's snowing, very bad out, and after it snows, your driveway is covered in snow, and a guy knocks on your door and says, "For 20 bucks, I will clean your driveway and shovel it." A pretty useful service. And you say, "Okay, do you owe the guy money?" "Yeah, you agreed." Uh, and if he comes to you after he shoveled his walk and you don't give him $20, you stole the time and effort. You stole his labor. He could have gone and made $20 from somewhere else. You owe him the $20. You shouldn't have said yes. But suppose he doesn't ask you. You know, you're not home. He assumes you'll say yes. He doesn't want to risk no. Or suppose he asks you, and you say, "I'm sorry, but I don't want you to clean my walk, shovel my walk." Now, of course, the statist response is, "Well, if he doesn't shovel the snow, no one will shovel the snow, and your snow will turn to ice, and people will trip, and it will be dangerous. So without this guy, your snow won't get shoveled." Now, of course, the intelligent response is, "I'm sorry, but I know you're offering me $20 to shovel the driveway, but I know a guy who's only going to do it for 15, or my son's going to do it for free, or I know a guy who's going to charge 25, but he does a really good job, and it's really important that I have quality, and so I don't want to risk it. Sorry." And the guy doesn't really care and takes it upon himself to shovel the snow anyway. And then comes to you and say, "I shoveled the snow. You owe me 20 bucks. Do you owe it to him?" No, you don't. What's the difference between the first scenario and the second? In both scenarios, you get a service. The first, you agreed to pay him, and the second, you didn't. The same with government. The reason taxation is theft has nothing to do with getting something back. It has to do with, I don't agree for you to be the supplier of the service, right? It isn't simply getting something back. If you go to a friend's house and are invited for a meal, and afterwards you get a bill, you don't have to pay it if there was no stipulations beforehand, right? I mean, usually when someone says you want to come over for dinner, they don't give you a bill afterwards. So the fact that you are provided with a service has nothing to do with you owe money. You owe money because you agree to owe money, not because you get something in response from them, right? For the first 18 years of your life, typically parents give you things, food, home, shelter. If your parents gave you a bill and said, "This is the amount for the first 18 years of your life," you don't owe that money to them because you never agreed, and tough. Now, suppose someone says to you, provides a lot of other services. Let's say someone says, and one of the things that I say to the people who say that taxation isn't theft, go to them and call their bluff and say, "Well, if you say taxation isn't theft, I'm going to tax you. And don't worry, I'll clean your car, I'll watch your children when you go to work, I'll cook you dinner. Now, if you don't agree, tough, I'm going to take your money anyway." But how many people would be okay with that? How many people would be okay with you taxing them under the same stipulations that the government does? Very few. Now, let's take the example, which I think is a good one, of someone says to you, "Give me $50 to watch your children Otherwise, I'll shoot you. Well, I would say you're an idiot and a bad parent if you agree to that. Wait a second. You said you're going to hurt me if I don't pay you to watch my children? Why would I want to leave you, who is willing to use violence on me, with my children? What, am I, an idiot? I can't trust you. You are willing to commit physical aggression against me if I don't give in to your requests. I'm not going to trust you with my children. My children are way too valuable to leave me, to leave you alone with them. I can't trust my loved ones to be looked after by a person who is willing to use violence against me. Right? And the same with government. Right? I think any reasonable, rational person would say, if you say to me, I'll protect you, give me money to protect you, and if you don't give me money to protect you, I'll shoot you, and you say, fine, you could protect me, why do you think you're going to get protection? Why is that not a racket? Why is that not any different than the mafia saying, pay us protection money, otherwise we'll torch your store? Or pay us money, otherwise we'll look after you, so we can look after your children, otherwise we'll hurt you? You'd be a fool and an idiot to believe that a person who is willing to use violence against you, unless you give him money, is actually going to protect you once you do so. So the reason that anarchists are against taxation, one reason is taxation is theft, and two is, if you're willing to threaten me to use violence against me, I can't trust that you're going to use that money to protect me. I can't trust you alone with my kids or being in charge of who watches my kids if you're willing to threaten me unless I give you money. And why would I want to give you money and more resources and more power if you're willing to use violence to get your way? So that's why taxation is theft, and that's why it is immoral. And next time someone says to you, taxation isn't theft because we get something in response, say to them, okay, give me a certain percentage of your income or else, and don't worry, I will watch your children. You can trust me with them. Thanks, and have a great day.